I've read every single comic I have ever owned. The reason why I have so many is I have a lot of doubles.
So what you're saying is that you're going to be giving those away to our listeners in future Geek Bros episodes, right?
Maybe depending on the comics. Yes. There's a few things that I wouldn't give away, like original sealed of Death of Superman.
I think the only comics I ever owned was the free ones that I got at Star Wars Celebration from my family. Those are the only comics I ever owned.
You think you got one of those signed too?
Jotaro the Stallion, Mr. Super Saiyan himself.
Wait, I want you to see if you can edit that whole that Super Saiyan aura.
Oh, I definitely can. Will I do it? No, because I don't have time for that.
All right, well,
that's time for that.
Well, screw you. But anyway,
In a world where geeking out never looked so good, two incredibly sexy men will rise for your auditory pleasure. Here's your hosts, keeping up with the Geek Bros.
And thank you for tuning in to Keeping Up the Geek Bros podcast, episode 60. I'm Vibe.
Darth Flex.
Garbanzo.
Jotaro the Stallion.
And greetings one and all. Before we get into today's episode, the dirty 60, Flex, social media, please.
All right, perfect. Now, you fine fans can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Geek Bros with a 0. That's GEEKBR0S. You can also email us if you would like to at geekbros with a 0 at yahoo.com. Again, it's GEEKBR0S. And if you would like to see these beautiful faces online, you can check us out at youtube.com/VibeRev Studios.
Super buttery. Don't forget that in 1 week, pretty much this time, 3 of the 4 of us, that's myself, Darth Flex, and Garbanzo, will be hitting plane rides, Chicago bound, for Star Wars Celebration. And then, of course, in 2 days and 1 week, we'll be doing our live podcast panel at Star Wars Celebration, Chicago, 2019. Friday, April 12th, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And the fun continues Saturday, on the 13th, podcast meetup at the Arc Bar, which actually, I don't know if you guys saw the pictures. That place is really nice. It's
No, I
really
haven't.
nice.
I haven't.
I looked it up. I just want to see what we're rolling with, and I was like, wow, this is more like a lounge.
So
like,
it's classy.
It looks classy. I'm not gonna go in a t-shirt. Let's say it like that. I think maybe I'm pretty sure everybody else is gonna be because it's a bunch of podcasters. But I wanna look a little bit more impressed. So I think I'm gonna wear a polo, at least a polo.
You gonna wear your Dragon Ball Z button down?
That is a great idea. Nice solid jeans.
Really?
It's a button down. You got something to say?
It is a button down. No, seriously.
Okay.
I mean, by the laws of gentlemanliness, that's all you need is a button down.
Is all you need is a button down. The reason why Joe has to say is because he doesn't want the fact that I'm gonna have 3 Super Saiyans on my button down take away from his hair, because apparently. If you guys need to tune in, I say this every time. If you're listening to us, fantastic. But if you want to see the madness, and the definition of madness right now is what's going on with Jotaro the Stallion's hair. He's going through a quarter life crisis, and he decided to go beyond frosting the tips. I don't know if this is for celebration.
That
was interesting how you described that, though.
I would like to say that it
Wait,
looks...
did you also do the beard?
Yeah,
I
you
did.
can tell.
I really did. I did the beard.
Yeah, he's
the
going
beard is
through
actually losing the color, though. And I have to add, I've never dyed my hair to this magnitude before, and I won't do it again. I'm 100% certain. I didn't know to leave it in that long. So
that's what she said. So can I ask you a question, Jotaro the Stallion? With your new Super Saiyan look, what possessed you? And don't say Star Wars Celebration; you're gonna ruin it. Give me a different excuse. what possessed you to how do I say this nicely? Return to your roots as the real Slim Shady.
Oh wow, I'm surprised you even remember that. Well, it was because I had blonde hair as a kid, so I figured I'd try to get it
What?
back somehow. Yeah,
Hey,
I was
actually, that's not as good as my. I still think that maybe it was you saw that episode of South Park with Cartman and Gingers. Yeah.
Oh
I
my
actually
god.
no, I actually I keep getting during work I keep getting stopped and people think I'm actually not from this country because of this. They think
Really?
I'm like from Scotland or something like that.
I could see
Uh,
that.
You look a little more Irish than Scottish.
Yeah,
Thank-
a little more Irish.
I could see
You're like a
that.
leprechaun. Sound like
Yeah.
Well, okay, fuck. All right. Fine.
An Italian leprechaun.
But I want to say that you look absolutely dashing, and you better relish in that because that's the only compliment you're going to get for the remainder of the year. So, with that being said, gentlemen, tell me about your weekend. Flex.
Let's see. This was a pretty interesting weekend. What did I do? Actually, I didn't do much. I worked, and then Sunday I made like 30 pounds of kimchi.
Listen,
Oh.
I need to try some of that. You need to
Dude,
let me
seriously.
like compensate you or whatever it is to make me some.
Hey.
But I need like my own like big supply, and then of course I need you to tell me what to do with it so I can add that.
Eat
to
it
my
right out the
routine.
can, bro. Just like right out of the
I don't know
jars.
what that is. I've heard. I mean,
It goes really good with white rice or like
oh, it's
fried
food.
chicken
Oh,
or
it's food.
eggs.
I thought it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a drink.
No, kombucha is a drink.
That's different.
Okay. Oh, well, I want both then. But okay. Garbanzo, your weekend.
Actually, on Sunday we worked on Saturday like always, but on Sunday Fun Day we ended up checking out the Dania Seafood and Art Festival.
Oh.
Yeah, we were there for like 3 hours, and I spent an hour and a half of it in line for one lobster roll.
Oh, so you know you're used to that. I mean, come on, Star Wars Celebration 20 something.
And Disney, yeah.
And that too. Joe Taro, you want to tell us about your weekend besides your hair?
Yeah. Well, funny you asked that, Vibe. I had my anniversary actually this past Monday with my fiance.
Oh, congratulations!
Wait, hold on.
It's-
You're dating someone?
Anyway, so my anniversary was Monday, and we celebrated it this past weekend for 2 days. We actually I don't know how I feel about saying this, but we went to go see Frozen on Broadway.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
No, there's nothing wrong with that because
Okay, I'm just making sure.
no, there's nothing wrong with
And
that.
then he went to Central Park and hit his pot of gold.
Exactly. Did you build a snowman?
I did. Yes, I did. I built a very big one that had my color hair.
Cocaine.
Yeah,
Okay, right. It was
yeah, with cocaine.
But
But
that's
no,
why he looks like that. That's not hair dye. That's the cocaine.
Exactly. I just
Family
it's-
podcast. Family podcast.
yes.
my thighs are clean.
No,
It
but
was-
it's cool. No,
yeah.
I don't. I'm not. No, I don't judge you because I mean, I want to go see The Lion King on Broadway. I wanted to go
Yep.
see.
Absolutely.
I wanted to see a bunch of things on Broadway. I've never been to one before because I don't have any cultured friends that want to go with me. So that's cool.
I've seen The Lion King
Nice.
once. It's garbage.
On
Oh, please.
off Broadway or Broadway?
Broadway, like with the black dudes with the weird mask and face
Yes.
paints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing there? No, it's actually.
He got lost. It's like, is this the MMA?
I got taken as a child. This is like a long time ago.
Oh,
Oh my god, I forgot
Okay.
how long that's been around.
No, it was good. I thought Frozen was great. I really didn't watch the movie like that. I kind of like fell asleep during it. So, but the Broadway was definitely it was nice.
it's
It was
cool.
nice. I enjoyed it. And then we had dinner, and that's
Uh-huh.
it.
Oh, fantastic!
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what's going on with the Geek Bros?
Really? I didn't even say what how my weekend was.
Yeah, because
I mean, it's not Garbanzo's fault. I had specifically said off air. Can we please have no dead air and just follow the the scripts? So Garbanzo did the right thing.
Hey, you got quiet. You weren't saying anything, so I was like, I gotta jump in. Like you said, no dead air.
That was really good. That's funny. That's what you get. You make a critique to your cast, and then they follow it, right? And then you look like a jackass. I look like a jackass. My weekend was spectacular. I finished up the final 3-part East African Tanzania video travel vlog special for my client. This chick is a beast. I mean, she fed lions, she fed hyenas, she
parts?
No, she fed them food. Like she fed these things. Listen, man, that's as close as they look. Okay, I mean, we've got footage of cheetahs walking by the camera, and you can hear them growling as they walk by the camera. I was like, this is crazy. So that was, if anybody wants to check that out, it's the Holidays travel vlog. It's if you go to vibrostudios.com or if you go to youtube.com/vibrostudios, the playlist is there. It's not a Vibe Studios original. I do the post production. I edit it. I put the glitter and I put all the I put it together, but I'm not on site. I do this remotely and I don't film it. So, but it is a Vibe Studios collaboration. Check that out. Besides that, did a little babysitting, and then I went to the most awesome baby shower that I've been to in a long time. One word, hookah. Lots and lots of hookah.
I forgot you're a fan of that.
Listen. I love me some hookah. Just nobody wants to ever go with me. So, when I found out there was hookah, there was 4 hookahs, and I ended up doing 3 of them: berry, cherry, and peppermint by myself. And one table got that theirs. Nobody else wanted to do hookah, so I told the guy, by all means, light them all up. I'll just go back and forth.
Are we doing that in Chicago?
We can. If I can find a hookah bar that doesn't break the bank when it comes to getting there on Uber, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I love hookah, and it was so much fun. It was fantastic. I had a lot of drinks. I met a couple of ladies who, love the fact that I'm there for my homie, and strangely enough, watch her kid a lot. And it was a lot of fun. It was very, 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 very Spanish. But I didn't just spot just fine. No, it was good, man. It was really good. And I had a blast. All I had was all hookah. Hookah. I woke up with the hookah. Terrible. Like I don't know. What do you when you smoke too much? What do you wake up with in your throat?
It's just dry from all the smoke.
Yeah, pretty much dry.
It was
raspy. You're not supposed to do that.
It's a lot of things we're not supposed to do, Flex, that we do. Okay. Family podcast.
Like smoke hookah.
That was my weekend.
All right. So what's going on with the Geek Bros?
Fantastic. I'm glad you asked. The Geek Bros are something with the stuff and everything. Of course, we have the video recap from last episode that's up. Nothing new has been edited. Even though I have a bunch of lost episodes that I'm working on, I'm waiting to do a graphic for that, so it doesn't make any sense. We're still doing internal changes in Geek Bros, so I need to make sure that the old stuff that I put out is known that it's old, but it's still good. Anyway, we are preparing for the Shazam movie review. It'll unfortunately be just Flex and I, and we're gonna go do it real quick.
Sadly,
and do a quick review on that, and so you get that this week. We're also gonna do the reaction to the Joker trailer that came out. And actually, I'm gonna throw that in there. Everybody so far on air has seen it, so I'm gonna throw it in open mic, and we're just gonna give you guys a quick first reaction, just 1-word sentence, and then of course you'll see our actual review. That'll be edited, and that'll be up this week too. So you should be getting 2 videos plus a video recap this week, and then this weekend sometime, I can't tell you when. Instead of next week Wednesday, guys, we're gonna do a Star Wars Celebration live, because we're going to test this out. Garbanzo is graciously lending the brand his camera, while my camera is still in Texas, getting that sweet 10 minutes. We're going to test out the triple streaming live from, I think, Garbanzo's house. So it'll be a different background, but it'll be fantastic because he's got the best geeky background we've got. And we're going to test it out. It'll be Sunday, we said, guys, Sunday night. Is that what we said?
It'll be Sunday night. We'll be doing it. We got a couple things going on. I'll make sure that it's all set up for you guys.
Okay. Check the Twitter, or check the Instagram, or check the Facebook later on this week. I will absolutely give you guys the exact time we're gonna do it. It's supposed to be after 8 Sunday. It'll be myself, Garbanzo, and Darflex. Jotaro will be there in spirit, and we will try it out. We'll have a quick 20-minute mini prologue to our Star Wars Celebration, where we're going to discuss, Star Wars: The Last Jedi a little bit, and then we're going to carry on that conversation into the live panel, which will also be uploaded and available at the end of the week next week. So we're trying something out. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. So that is what's going on with the Geek Bros. Dead air.
There's not. No, So tell me, what are we talking about today?
Oh, fancy you asked. Today we've got the fresh scent, the movie standing out this week. What's new in the gaming world? Dark Flex is going to give us the video games out this week. Dark Flex also going to present the Battle for Azeroth. We're going to dive back into the world of WarCraft.
Woo!
Oh,
Yeah.
And we have WarCraft, Orcs and Humans, and WarCraft 2 Battlenet Edition, now available on GOG, I guess, or GOG.
Yeah.
Nintendo's sticking with Legend of Zelda Breath of Wild partner. Niantic releases details on Harry Potter Wizards Unite. For inebriated fitness, we're going to get into does masturbation really affect testosterone levels? And don't raise a pussy. Anime /
family podcast.
Well, you see, for the Instagram preview, that's gonna be bleeped, but for the actual video and the actual audio, that's you're gonna hear it. Because if Flex asked for that, he just didn't think I was actually gonna put it up there. For anime and animation invasion, we got Love, Death, Robots, episode 1 ? Only because everybody got it differently. We're gonna review Sonnie's Edge, the good, the bad, the ugly. For Gadgets R Us, Verizon adds free call filter feature in bid to fight robocalls, and it's personal for me because I have AT&T and I have something similar to that. We'll get into that. For Open Mic, we have this X-Men collector has spent more than $150,000 on memorabilia.
Wow.
We're gonna give you the Umbrella Academy review. We're gonna give you our Joker trailer reaction, 1 sentence. Hercules rumored to play male lead in Marvel's The Eternals. Spoiler alert, he may be gay.
God.
Footage from Star Wars Episode 9 has been screened. Jordan Peele on why he will likely not cast any white male leads.
Good.
And we'll end with the Stan Lee tribute that is long overdue, and we are ashamed to finally get to that. This and more on episode 60 of Keeping Up with the Geek Bros. Gentlemen, are we ready?
Always.
That's actually better. That's better than the last one. That's why I got cool. So I feel much better about that. All right, so let's. What is that? The sprinkler? I think Garbanzo's doing the sprinkler. That shows his excitement. The movie standing out this week is, of course, Shazam. Is there any other question? We will be reviewing it. Flex and I are going to be watching it, but Garbanzo and Jotaro, do you guys intend on seeing Shazam?
Oh yes, for sure. I really do.
Yeah.
What?
I was actually
free.
I was supposed to go see it last week, but sadly I had to work.
Last week, how?
Oh, I had sneak preview tickets.
Oh, you couldn't have given
No,
them.
no. It wasn't mine. It was somebody else invited me, and then they invited somebody else when I couldn't go.
You couldn't tell that individual to invite your fellow Geek Bros? I'm pretty sure we know them.
Actually, maybe.
Maybe. Listen, next time. That's a good answer. Good answer. Is there anything you guys in particularly want to see from Shazam? That you're interested in?
Black Adam.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That should be pretty cool. I would love to see some of the other characters' cameos. Really, that's pretty much.
That's actually I agree. I kind of want to see the other cameos. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm only interested for one reason. It just seems the trailers are funny. It seems like a fun movie, and I've been dying for one of those shut my brain off fun movies. Flex has made it very clear that I've hated on a lot of movies a lot lately. I've hated pretty much anything I've seen last year, so I'm trying to shut that part of my brain off to enjoy movies more and bring a little bit more fun back in my movie going experience. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm interested, because it looks like fun. The trailers are hilarious and I want to laugh. That's why. So with that being said, what's new in the gaming world? Video games out this week presented by Darth Flex.
Yes, sir. Actually, you know what? It's crazy because this week there wasn't that many video games out, but there are a couple ones that were pretty interesting. So today is April 3rd. So we're going to start with April 2nd because that's the earliest one we have. Nothing for April 1st. So April 2nd, we have Power Rangers Battle for the Grid for the PS4.
You said Power Rangers?
Yes, sir. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid.
I need to see that trailer.
Yeah, actually, it looks pretty good. I saw, what's his name? Jason David Frank promote this quite a bit. We have Pressure Overdrive for the Switch. That's on April 4th. That's today. Okay. Then we have Happy Few, which actually, this is just a DLC, but they came from below DLC for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. We have April 5th, we have Dance of Death, Dulak, and Fae for the PC. April 5th, we have Enter the Gungeon, A Farewell to Arms, PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. April 5th, we have Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission, PC and Switch. I think that was pretty interesting. If it's anything like, it should be like Legacy of Goku. That'd be pretty cool. But that is all for this week. For April. There's not that many this week, actually.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for that Dragon Ball Z game. I really haven't played any good Dragon Ball Z games, and maybe Legacy of Goku and the Budokai games.
That's true. Well, how about the? Have you had a chance to actually play the? Is anything out yet? The Shoshin Jump one?
No, I haven't. The last one I played was the Xeno. No, it was the Z Fighter or whatever. I was at 10th level tavern and I got destroyed by a couple of kids. It was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I can imagine those kids are no joke.
Speaking of 10th level tavern, are we ever going there socially, gentlemen? Like ever?
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down too.
Yeah, I'm down. I'll just buy a plane ticket. And let me know.
No, yeah. No, we'll FaceTime you because you know.
Yeah, we'll actually we'll all buy an extra beer just to have one extra one for you.
Yeah, just leave it right there. I prefer Guinness. Thanks.
Actually, if you can just buy.
I'm not surprised with that hair.
Buy like a beer, right? We'll use that here to light our way in the 10th level tavern. It's kind of dark.
Oh, I'm gonna get it all friggin' weekend, in Chicago.
Dude, no, seriously, man. It's yeah. I don't know.
I mean, look here. I mean, look at this way.
The red-haired reindeer. What?
Can we be reasonable? At least he'll be flashy for us to stand out at Star Wars Celebration. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
So
pretty much.
we're probably going to use him and his hair to draw
the
people
beacons
into
of Gondor have been lit.
Exactly.
I can't.
I would say that we're going to get bullied and beat up, but everybody there is a bunch of nerds. So
exactly. So we're going to be the most.
But man, yeah, for real,
dude, it would be the first time that
shove in our locker.
With that being said,
Star Wars nerds will make people cry.
That being said, as macho as we are, we're gonna transition into the battle for Azeroth, presented by Darflex, as he's decided to dive back into the world of Warcraft. This is gonna be an ongoing segment for what's new in the gaming world until he says stop. So, ladies and gentlemen, Darflex.
All right, so going into the battle for Azeroth, before we get into this, let me just explain or let the listeners know my history with Warcraft.
Yeah,
I've been playing Warcraft since '95, since the first game came out. It came out in '93 actually, but obviously I was too young. I wasn't even in this country yet. But in 2004, Blizzard released a game called World of Warcraft. Okay, and before that, I think we haven't had a Warcraft game for maybe like 5 years. So I was actually 14 at the time, and I got my first job just to buy this game and pay the subscription. I actually ended up working not legally because I was 14, but I was a property manager at an apartment in Las Olas for a real estate company my mother worked for. So all I did was...
heck did you become a property manager as a tween?
My mom was a property manager, but I was never there. So I would sit at the office, do all the paperwork. I would show all the model apartments to potential buyers and so on. And I had my laptop there. So while I was waiting for people to come in to check out the apartments, I would just play World of Warcraft. But my first job was specifically for World of Warcraft because I was such a huge fan. And I've played it straight for maybe a good 3 years, kind of dropped off as I got older. And once I left the Marine Corps, I really didn't play it at all. When I came back, I picked it up again for another year and just dropped it. So I've been on and off. So my main experience was with Warcraft Vanilla, which is pretty much the game originally before there was any kind of like story to it. It was just kind of grind and play, PvP. There's like a little bit of stories here, but nothing really you could like, nothing really tangible that you can continue with. And now, what most gamers call it retail, which is the newer Warcraft. Same game, just the different mechanics, different player interface, but now it has a pretty good story, has outstanding cinematics. Some people don't like it. I personally love it because it gives me something to look forward to. And I mean, honestly, I much rather do that and pay $14. And sometimes it's even free. If you have enough in-game gold, you can pay for your membership, which luckily I do. So it's much better than just paying $60 for an Xbox or something. And if you play with friends, it's great. It's a huge community. And the world is just so massive. I mean, there's tons of things to do. So I just recently got back into World of Warcraft. And since I last played there has been one expansion released. The last time I played when the new expansion came out, I played for like about a month and dropped it just because school
Is it the
was.
Ninja Pandas?
No, that was Legion. That was quite a
That
bit
was like
after.
2 years ago, right?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. And
Yeah.
just recently, the Battle of Azeroth was released. But a lot has changed in the world of Warcraft. If you haven't played it since, I think Wrath of the Lich King was probably the last time it was anywhere close to what the original game was. Since then, it's began to evolve quite a bit with different mechanics, different interfaces, different game modes, different environment interactions. I love it, man. I love it. And the great thing about it is, so as the story progresses, the map changes. There's a lot of things that change. Some parts don't exist. Some parts still exist. Some main characters are dead. Some have become new racial or faction leaders and so on. The good thing about this game is when you begin the game, for the most part, it'll give you the opportunity to run through the older stories. If you play it right, obviously you can jump right into the new story. You can even if you get the expansion, it boosts your character up to level 110, which the last time I played, it was level 100. Before that, last time it was level 60. So that's quite a long time ago.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
so, like, for
That brings back
example,
memories.
this is a spoiler if you guys haven't played the game. Though the Horde recently burned down before the Battle of Azeroth, the Horde burned down Tedrasa, which is the Tree of Life or the World Tree for the Night Elf factions, and it's no longer on the map if you're level 110. But if you're under level 110, it still appears there. That's one good thing about it. It doesn't kind of just force the story on you if you haven't played it already. You can still progress and see some of the changes. And even if you're level 110, you can talk to one of the time dragons who will send you back in time if you need to get back to certain places that no longer exist due to a war. But the new expansion is great, man. It's pretty much the war is against the Burning Legion is over. In the Battle of Azeroth, they have been defeated. Sargeras has been imprisoned by Illidan. And right now, the actual war between the Horde and the Alliance has never been worse than it is now. Like, they're literally at each other's throats. Like, it's just pure blood. The Horde is falling apart as Sylvanas is the new war chief. She's leading the Horde down a terrible, terrible path. She's broken all alliances with friendly factions and allied factions of the Alliance. For example, Jenna Proudmoore worked a lot with the Horde in the past, and they no longer have that. I mean, it's just bad blood everywhere. And I mean, the beginning of the expansion literally starts you in Lordaeron, which is Undercity, and it's all the faction leaders from the Alliance are invading Lordaeron, and they're just trying to kill everybody, and you're there to defend it. Unfortunately, Lordaeron does fall to the Alliance if you play the Horde. So I mean, so far it's been great. It's been great.
Wow.
I really haven't played enough to keep going, but so far this expansion is pretty good. It's actually going back to the roots of Warcraft, the first game and the second game, where the wars were just strictly between the Horde and the Alliance. I mean, you're just seeing beautiful scenery, beautiful battles, new warscapes, new war sieges, new war machines, and man, I love playing the Horde and just killing humans. It's just pretty awesome.
Jeez.
I mean, because like I played. I remember that I played a while back when probably after the first expansion. But I was more of a fan of the original Warcraft games.
Oh, me too.
Not so much. Yeah,
On PC, yeah.
The RTS are
those
beautiful.
those are by far probably one of the best games I ever played, hands down, on the PC.
Which, if you are a fan of that, Blizzard will be releasing this year a remastered version of Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos and the Frozen Throne. It's called Warcraft Reforged. Only $30 to pre-order now, and if you get it, they have the digital deluxe edition. It's $49.99. It comes with some mounts and some perks for World of Warcraft and some special cards for Hearthstone and some other things for Heroes of the Storm. But the good thing about the new remastered game is they added a few new missions. The cinematics are much better. They explain the story a lot better. If you have ever read the books, they kind of incorporate the books a little bit more into the story. I've seen what they have so far. It looks great. I mean, it runs so smoothly. It doesn't look like pixelated characters, like the blocks is running and chopping at each other. They actually have like really good mechanics, and it's just looking great. It was supposed to release actually in December, but I guess it's been pushed back just because development is crazy. But I mean, if you ever played Warcraft 3, the graphics are like maybe PlayStation 1 graphics. These are pretty much Xbox One graphics. If you see the gameplay, it's just amazing.
Oh wow!
So they expanded.
I'm so down.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be awesome. They expanded the stories, they expanded the cinematics, and they added new voiceovers and everything. It's gonna be amazing. That's going to take up a lot of my time.
And that is fantastic. That's a good segue into our next segment, Warcraft, Orcs, and Humans, and Warcraft 2 Battlenet Edition, available on GOG. Now, this article comes from wowhead.com. In anticipation of the upcoming 25th anniversary of the original Warcraft games, Blizzard has partnered up with GOG.com to release their original games, Warcraft, Orcs, and Humans, and Warcraft 2 Battlenet Edition, plus expansions in the GOG marketplace, because apparently this partnership allows you to play the classic games on modern systems, as Blizzard stores do not currently offer the games for sale. Darflex.
Excellent. So GOG is something similar to Steam. I'm not really Steam savvy, but I know Steam is pretty much a place where you can get games online and stream them through your computer, right?
Yeah.
So something similar. So GOG is something similar to that, and so they now are offering Warcrafts, which is of Orcs and Humans, which is their first game released in '93. Well, actually, officially '94, but it was '93. Which I actually own the CD, but you can't really play unless you have a PC and you have an emulator to bring it back down to Windows 95 or lower.
Oh.
They are also releasing the Warcraft 2 Battlenet Edition. So what Battlenet Edition is the complete second game, which is Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness, and then the expansion Warcraft 2 Beyond the Dark Portal, which continues the story after the Second War and the fall of the Horde in Azeroth. So originally, most people thought this game was going to be free on GOG, but it's $14.99 for both games. It's a bundle. I mean, I think it's a pretty sweet deal.
That's not bad.
For $14 to run it on your computer, which they've actually changed quite a bit, so like it runs smoother, the mechanics a little bit better. If you ever played the first game, the interface is terrible. It's really bad. Like, you know, it doesn't run smooth at all. It's hard to pick units and move them all at once, and pretty much it's hard to control an army in the first game. Second one runs a lot better, but what GOG has done, or whatever Blizzard has done to release the new ones, it runs pretty much like Warcraft 3. They just haven't remastered any of the graphics for nothing, but it looks pretty good. And I think for $15, it's a pretty sweet deal, because now you don't have to buy the CDs and you don't have to download any emulators for your modern computers. I mean, I think it's great.
I think it's a steal.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
I mean,
like,
if I was more into Warcraft than I was into StarCraft, I'd probably buy it, but I'm a StarCraft guy.
I'm actually thinking about going back to Warcraft, though. World of Warcraft.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Dude, I've been waiting for somebody to play with all the time, because I've been sneaking on Twitch to watch other people stream it lately, because I usually watch people on Twitch on a regular basis. But I've been watching it lately, which is very shocking of me, because I haven't played it since 2013 or 14. Like that.
Yeah, I think that was Mr. Pandaria.
Yeah, that's the last time I played. So I've been wanting to have a reason to go back. So if you're on it, you know,
do it. You can join our guild. It's called the Harbingers of Darkness.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's not ominous.
But yeah, at $15 it was a steal, because when I got out the Marine Corps, I bought the first one, Warcraft the Orcs and Humans, on eBay for $50, and I downloaded the emulator. I bought the second one for much cheaper. It was like $30, and then I bought the first game's owner manual for almost $50 as well, because they no longer make it.
Dang.
Wow.
All right. Well, if you guys are interested in playing with Darflex and or Jotaro the Stallion, by all means email us at geekbros with the zero, as GEKBR0S at yahoo.com, and join the guild, which is called the Harbingers of Darkness. What did you say?
Harbingers of Darkness.
Yes.
Join them, and and then email us and tell us about it, and then you can join in on the conversation as we do our weekly delve into the world of Warcraft. Moving on to the next topic, it's Nintendo sticking with Legends of Zelda Breath of Wild partner. Now, this article comes from yahoo.com/news. The same Nintendo studio that assisted with 2017's enormous hit, The Legend of Zelda Breath of Wild, is once again involved with a new franchise entry. Nintendo has a high bar to clear when it comes to The Legend of Zelda, and teaming up with the same studio that helped them do this with Breath of Wild's development, it ramps up. The majority, let me see, now let me go through this article real quick. Let's change to series, Skyward Sword. I have no idea. Okay, that was for the Wii U console. Yes, they're basically coming with a brand new, I don't know if it's a Zelda game or whatever. This thing is just screwing up on me. But, fantastic. They are going to be partnering up with, it's funny because this is their own IP, and I had no idea that they're using exterior individuals to produce their own IP. I thought Nintendo produced these things in house. So, have any of you guys played Breath of Wild?
I have. I love that game.
I
Do
have.
you?
It's amazing.
I still haven't beat it. That's how good it is. It's such a huge game.
I played a little bit of it because I don't have a Switch yet, but for the little bit that I have played, it was absolutely fantastic.
It's funny. I haven't played a Zelda game since Ocarina of Time, and that was for me the top of the top. I can't get any better than that. I love that
Don't
game.
Don't you have Hyrule Warriors vibe?
Hyrule Warriors doesn't count. That doesn't
That's
count.
not the same
That,
thing.
that doesn't count. And I love the game. Don't get me wrong. I love me the Dynasty Warriors game. And then,
Every time I see your Instagram on your story, I see you playing that damn game.
That's all me and my oldest offspring do. We as he's become a teenager, we and I have clicked with the Hyrule Warriors, the hack and slash, to just randomly jamming the X button. I love this game.
At least you have a partner to play with when it comes to that genre of gaming. I have to sit here and watch my son play Fortnite.
Well, yeah, well, everyone plays Fortnite. That's why we have multiple TVs in here. But no. Yeah, Zelda Hyrule Warriors is fun. It has its own story too, but I don't play for the story. I play for getting killing 1,000 or 2,000 bad guys in each level.
It's basically Dynasty Warriors. That's all.
Yeah, it is.
Exactly, it is Dynasty Warriors, and I used to love
Same
Dynasty
company.
Warriors. Yeah, exactly. And then Dynasty Warriors did Gundam Dynasty, and those were so good. Those are so good. Okay, I love those games. Okay, but you've got Hyrule Warriors, and now there's Fire Emblem Warriors. We're actually gonna go buy Fire Emblem Warriors. I've never played a Fire Emblem game in my life.
Oh, it's a classic. It's a classic RPG.
Apparently, but this is gonna be it, and we're gonna get it because what is it? It's a Warriors game, and it's one of those hack and slashes. We're about to do it, but right now we're playing some random free game. It wasn't free, like $1 game. Where it reminds me of an old game, and you're shooting these enemies, and you keep going up a level, and it's fun. I don't know if anybody's following me on social media, you'll see probably once or twice a week. It's me and my offspring. Three of us are playing it now because me by myself couldn't do anything. Me with my oldest, we got a certain level, we couldn't do anything. Now me with my oldest and my youngest, we are now together making some headway. However, this game there's no save points, so if you die or you have to, it's bedtime, you gotta start from scratch again. So we have to spend a full day on this game. It's fun, so that's what we're doing right now. And
Lord of the Rings did that. It's annoying.
Oh God! With that being said, we're gonna move on to Niantic releases details on Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Now, Darflex sent us this, so I'm gonna have him hit this up because my throat is killing me. That's what she said. Carry on.
All right, sweet. So, remember when you first brought it up, like, this is crap. I mean, it's another Pokemon Go. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Which I'm still not completely sold on it, but it is very different. If you guys ever played the AR game, what is it? The Walking Dead, Our World.
Now, by AR, you mean augmented reality?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Not assault rifles.
I don't think I have that.
So in this game, it's not like catching Pokemon. You actually go out and combat like Dementors and stuff and do certain
I saw
things.
the video. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
right?
I was not expecting that. I thought you were going to go out and like find fantastic beasts, which I think you do in the game still, but I didn't think you were going to fight them yourself. Like,
why were you laughing? Why are you laughing so hard? Vibe, what's wrong?
Because here's the thing, and I don't know if anyone else noticed it, but with Darflex, when he has disdain for something, he has a particular pitch, in his voice, and he's very dismissive of it. So when he said, I thought we were just gonna go look for a Fantastic Beast. The way he said that tone, it's subtle, but I pick up on it and I appreciate it, and so I thought it was funny. Carry on. I'm sorry.
Perfect.
I was going to spit out my plum wine, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm drinking.
So again, if any of you have played the Walking Dead augmented reality game, it's pretty similar. You walk around in your neighborhood and aim your phone and shoot zombies in the head and cool stuff like that, right? This Harry Potter game is looking like it has something similar, though obviously you're using a wand and so on, and you got to match up like specific movements with your phone to cast a spell, or you got to match up specific stars to kind of like make sure it's aimed and sent right. And then again, you can also go and catch other beats. You can go to hotels or inns to rest and so on like that. So it is very similar in that aspect to Pokemon Go, how you had the Pokestops and the Pokemon gyms and stuff like that. So I mean, it looks good. I'll probably try it out. Maybe drop it after a week. I don't think it's something. No, I mean,
it all depends if it's free. If it's free, I'm jumping on it.
There's no way it's not going to be free, man. And I can't believe something like this would charge.
You'd be surprised, man.
I'm sure there'll be like in-game purchases, but
Yeah,
Well, of
of
course.
course, yeah.
Microtransactions. I mean,
Yeah.
what game doesn't have that right now?
Exactly. That's a
Thank
huge
you,
thing.
EA.
Well, I mean, thank you, mobile gaming. Microtransactions came from mobile gaming.
Of
EA
course,
just said,
yeah.
let's throw it into video games, which is
EA ruined. Well, I
EA.
should say they
It's for the
ruined it.
game.
They kind of ruined it for Anthem with the whole micro. I mean, no, if you buy microtransactions from in Anthem, you're an idiot. You're really an idiot. It's not worth it. I don't know why people would do it or why they would even have the option to do it. But whatever. Anyway,
So
yeah.
basically, what you're saying is you've bought microtransactions in Anthem.
No, you don't have to. You can just earn it yourself. But
I
it's
know,
very easy.
but the way you're saying it, it sounds personal. So I was just making sure that you weren't being.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was gonna do it one time in the beginning when it first came out, but
And with that being said, we're gonna move on to inebriated fitness, brought to you by Darflex. Now, I've noticed that I've always taken Darflex as a professional, even though I forget it from time to time. But now our listeners are actually taking Darflex seriously, so which is fantastic. So now I've crafted a special intro that I'm going to read off every single time before we get to our topic at hand, because I want you guys to know that Darflex is a professional. He does know what he's saying. He is educated in this stuff. So with that being said, our intro: Inebriated Fitness. Darflex is an exercise physiologist with a BA in exercise and sports science. He is a certified CSCS strength training coach, a CISSN sports nutritionist, a sports injury specialist, and currently an MMA weight cut specialist and nutritionist. Darflex, thank you for coming in today.
I'm actually pretty glad you're doing this because sometimes I hear the crap that I say. I'm like, man, people come to me for medical advice.
Yeah,
they're very poor judges of character then.
Right.
But no, I mean, when it comes to science, I do take it seriously. But just like anything in life, there's no need to be a dick or boring or dull about it,
No,
right?
of course.
Enjoy your life for what it is.
Vibe.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
vibe with his movies, yeah.
Wow. Oh.
So I want to know
Must have
because
tipped.
who legitimately wants to know this? Does regular masturbation affect your testosterone? And before you answer that, what is regular masturbation for you?
Daily.
Okay.
Is daily regular daily?
At least 4 times a day.
So, being that you answered immediately, I'm assuming this is your concern, right?
No, actually, I read it. I saw an article while I was searching through our stuff. It popped up saying that it said this is what happens if you regularly masturbate, and it was basically saying that there's a negative effect on testosterone levels if you regularly masturbate. If a man regularly masturbates. So before you had given me your don't raise a pussy in fitness. I said, let me throw that in there. And so even though you gave me an article, I already put it in there. So that's what she said. So I said, let me keep it there. So in this article...
That's also what she said.
Exactly. So does regular masturbation affect testosterone? And by regular, I mean daily. Once a day, that is, or more.
Or twice. Depends on how many showers.
Yes.
Or 3 times.
So that's actually a pretty good question. This is something I've actually been asking myself since I was in middle school playing sports. But... So it depends who you ask. Depends, because honestly, the studies on this aren't too exact. I don't think there's enough significant data to really give you a clear answer. But I will give you the clearest answer as far as facts and data shows. So, and most of these studies, for the most part, I believe, are observational studies. So observational studies, for the most part, are maybe, right? That's what you're getting as far as data,
right,
versus a randomized controlled trial, like the double-blind placebo test, so on. Then you get actual standards and real data you can actually compare versus a controlled. And I mean, honestly, while I'm sure there's plenty of college students who would love to go jerk one off in the lab, for the name of science, I'm
You're
not
gonna
too
pay
sure.
me to do what?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. There have been masturbation studies, but not exactly as far as testosterone goes. And this would absolutely be in my field because this is what we study, is hormone regulation. So here's one thing. It depends, again, who you ask. Culturally, take the Japanese, for example. I don't know the word for it in Japanese, but the literal term for the slang masturbation in Japanese means the little death.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Because and this is in
Nothing
relation
little
to
about it.
sports, because people tell you not to have sex or jerk off before competing because it's gonna make you feel weak and so on. Because they say, sperm DS in life, to give life, to make life, you must give life. So that's why it's a little death. You kill a little yourself, which again, depending how you're applying it, that's probably not true. When it comes to weight cuts, we actually encourage our athletes to have intercourse prior to a weight cut, just because it's going to help with vasopressin. So it's going to help them release water more. It's going to help them be able to properly dehydrate better, not hold on too much water. It releases stress. It brings up your serotonin, brings down your cortisol, so on like that. And it just makes you feel good as well too. Like you hear like a lot of professional athletes say, I don't see women. Well, the whole time I'm in season, or like a whole month for competing. Like, yeah, you're either you're gay or you're an idiot, but um, really,
Either
there's
or.
no negative effect as far as performance.
Mhm.
If I had to say, I mean, I would tell you it's going to help your performance. Now, I would say time it properly. Don't jerk one off or hit it off with a girl and then go compete right away. You might need some time to recuperate, just because your body does use quite a bit of energy, whether you think about it or not, to do that. But as far as
Two,
testosterone
2 to 3
levels,
hours. What?
yeah, 2 to 3 hours I think is appropriate. Appropriate if you're able to eat, and get some water and sugars in. Yeah. As far as testosterone levels go, there's no significant data to say that it actually affects you negatively, nor that it affects you positively. If I had to pick, I would say it would raise your testosterone, because you're doing what a biological man should be doing, right? And that has a lot to do with testosterone, because you're trying to reproduce, you're trying to get an erection, and so on. So, yeah, did you hear that?
Yeah, I did. What was
Someone's
that's
having
what,
sex right now.
exactly.
It's my laundry machine.
That's what that
Uh,
is. That's what
yep,
I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
he has that. He has
Yeah,
that big
someone's getting
robot
that.
just banging on it.
I put the dog's pillows in there. Okay, so uh, testosterone will not decrease from masturbating every day. As a matter of fact, I would probably say it would help regulate it,
Okay.
and there's other benefits from it too. Masturbating daily is probably gonna, or is thought or is believed to reduce the risk of prostate cancer, which I'm sure no man wants prostate cancer.
And actually, I've heard that a few times actually. And I think it's supposed. I think it's the reason is that um, I think a dorm the way that it was described to me, it was described to my uncle who's going through that, and also my stepdad who actually is going through prostate cancer. Was that a dormant prostate? Just basically, there's no movement. It's not doing anything. So there's a higher probability of that happening.
Hmm.
That was the way it was. I mean, whether it's true or not, that's the way it was told.
In layman's term, that's what our observational studies has shown. In addition to that, it also, so unlike women, females are born with all the eggs they're going to have for the rest of their lives. So they're never going to produce any more. They're just going to keep losing eggs until they're no longer fertile. Now, men, we constantly produce new sperm cells, and the good thing about masturbation is it's literally out with the old and with the new. You're gonna, while I guess if you're a man of the film industry, if you do it daily, you're not going to have pretty fat loads, and it's not going to be pretty impressive when it comes to it. But for the most part, you have brand new, fresh swimmers in there ready to go. And while the climax might not be an impressive volcanic explosion, it's going to do its job with some fresh swimmers. Yeah, take that as a positive or negative. It's up to you. But,
Okay.
Like you're not gonna be able to glue someone to the ceiling, but
So basically,
All in all, sex is very good for you, and you should have it.
yeah,
right. So
absolutely.
basically, so basically, it's more like a neutral
even if you're
thing.
by yourself.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Just
yes.
grab an
So
apple
Just
pie
learn it
and
from by
warm it up.
yourself.
You're pretty good.
well, so apparently, masturbation is Geek Bros approved, family podcast. So we're gonna move on to "Don't Raise a Pussy," and this is the title of Darflex's chosen topic for Need to Fitness. Darflex, hit us with that because I have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay, so this has to do with training youth or training kids. Before I actually get into the science of training kids, what do you all think about participation trophies and nobody those are A1's a winner?
It's worthless.
I
I'm
absolutely agree.
I'm not a big fan. I grew up uh, in martial arts and where it was first, second, and third, and then maybe an honorable mention if someone had like a really good fight but they still lost.
Right.
But it wasn't like everybody got something. Not
Hmm.
everyone did. You know what I'm saying? But you worked hard and it to get recognition. That's just the way that I was raised, and I agree
Yeah,
that.
And
Yeah,
man,
pretty much.
I absolutely. I think that's why there's so many people out there in this call out culture expecting for handouts and expecting that people should respect them and care about them being offended. Uh,
Absolutely.
I think learning to lose absolutely prepares you for the hardships of life. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
Oh, of
you,
course.
these kids are lucky that
100%.
they're living in a modern world, man. If this was like the medieval times, they're lucky if they make it past 4 years old,
Right.
But
Yes, that is very true.
That
but I
yeah,
mean,
that's true. Yeah.
that is absolutely one of the things that goes into don't raise a pussy is if you're gonna train your kids, which has a lot of benefits, they need to learn that they have to work hard. They need to learn that they're not gonna be handed things in life. They need to learn that, yeah, like if you're overweight or you can't run fast, you want to play sports, they're not gonna hand it to you. You got to work for it.
Yep.
So going into child training or youth training, I know when I was younger, maybe some of you have heard this. Weight training or lifting weights for children is bad. It's going to stun your growth. It's not
I,
good.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I heard about that in coffee.
I did not hear about that at all. Now, uh, when you say training, you mean just going to the gym and using weights, or you mean like that intense core training?
But kids can't go to the
So
gym and use weights like that.
Well,
we're talking about. So we have to look at training and working out. Working out is a different thing. It's just moving things, feeling good. Training is a systematic approach with a specific goal, right?
oh, okay.
So training, yeah, training. So lifting weights, running, whatever it is. Now, one of the biggest stereotypes or stigmas to it was lifting weights will stun your child's growth, or lifting weights is bad for your child. This and that. It's gonna, mess up their development. Now, I mean,
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that.
I've heard it too, and like as I started to study more and do more research, I'm like, man, who in the hell has said this? Because the studies I've seen are older than me, so I'm like, man, who, it's like one of those like, I don't know. I don't want to pick on like Hispanic moms, but like me coming from a Hispanic family, this whole like, oh, eat your soup, you're gonna get big and strong, or eat your vegetables, you're gonna get big and strong. I'm like,
Ooh, milk does a body good.
it does with the body good. Um, and humans are not the only animals to steal milk from other animals, by the way. But so weight training for children or resistance training is actually very good. See, up until the age of 18, we have this thing called the epiphyseal plate, or better known as the growth plate. Now, when we turn 18, between 18 and 21, it does seal, and that's where we no longer grow any taller. Or our bones can grow thicker and wider, but they won't grow any longer. So
That's what she said.
the the way bones grow is that they're constantly adapting to the stimulus that the body is being placed upon. That means that the bones will calcify, so they deposit more minerals in the bones to make them stronger, and so on, resist whatever you are demanding of your body. Now, as children, if you're doing proper resistance training, meaning loading the spine, loading the legs, loading the arms, what it's going to do is going to stimulate your epiphyseal plate or your growth plate to actually produce more bone vertically. It's going to make you longer. It's going to make you taller. It's going to make your bone density much, much stronger, which is a huge problem in the minority community, like Hispanics, or people with darker skin. It's just a very huge problem. So
not ever gonna be big bone like I am.
yeah, like I mean, you see like tall, like for example, take like tall black dudes. Say they're just tall genetically but don't work out. They
Right,
may be
like
tall,
vibe.
but they probably have pretty brittle bones, and then that's something you really absolutely want to, especially for women, that you want to pay attention to. But training for children is going to have a very good positive outcome as far as their bone development, which is very important just for producing proper red blood cells, being strong, being tall, and reducing chances of injury. So loading kids with resistance or weights, absolutely do it. Now, I think where the rumor that it's bad for you comes from is improper training or CrossFit, right? But
We have got to get into CrossFit in
Yeah,
one of the inebriated podcasts to find out exactly.
Actually, I have a question for you, Flex, when you're done about hit workouts. But
Okay.
I
What?
guess we'll just wait.
so if you are a child and your growth plate, epiphyseal plate, has not sealed yet or has not calcified yet, and you are lifting weights and you improperly do it and you hurt yourself, you can actually slip that epiphyseal plate. And what that does, that will stunt the growth of that bone. Maybe that's where people get it from. It's not that it's bad for you, it's just a bunch of assholes doing the wrong things. Like, just like anything, if you do anything the right way, it'll be good for you. Anything the wrong way, it's going to have negative effects. If you are a child and you're trying to squat like 300 pounds and you don't have the mechanics to do it, and you end up breaking your hip or slipping your knee or slipping your femur, and now you're going to be 5'3" for the rest of your life when your parents are like 6'2", 6'3".
Oh, that's horrible.
That's
Right?
probably where it comes from.
Right, vibe.
Well, listen. I was doing a lot of weight training when I was younger, and I slipped my epididymis flip, whatever you said, and that's But I'm a festive size, and I'm very happy with my size. Um,
So we're talking about your height, right? That's your height.
yeah, my height. No, I'm absolutely completely
Party size.
impressed with with the size of my fire stick. So
Okay.
that's not what we're talking about. Okay, they don't call me the tripod for nothing. What I am saying is that for my actual
Oh, I thought it was all because of the filming.
Listen, I got into filming, so it made more sense because the girls would be asking why you named the tripod, and I was like, oh, because I'm a filmmaker, not before when I said I'm well endowed. Believe it or not, women, they find that kind of creepy up first, and they kind of find it intimidating. So I got into filmmaking, so the tripod would stick. Yes, they do actually. Typical normal women, not the psychos. So with that being said,
Back to the.
Are you done? We're going.
I just have one more thing. One of the
by all
biggest
means.
things that we face in the modern first world is childhood obesity. So you absolutely have to take that into consideration too, because a lot of big excuses is, oh, I'm genetically born fat or this and that. Yeah, like if your parents are obese, that is going to pass on because DNA is current, right? The DNA is written currently every day to what it is. Like if you drop a bunch of weight and you have kids, he's probably going to, be born thinner. If you're heavier, he's going to be probably born heavier. But that doesn't limit to what you can actually do yourself. I mean, if you're born heavy, you can absolutely, on very, very, very rare occasions, even like extreme medical occasions, even like thyroid problems, you can absolutely work around it. It's just don't be a bitch and don't be lazy. But I mean, for the most part, you can absolutely make a difference as far as something like that. And with like diabetes, the only one that probably you'd be bad with is like type 1 diabetes, right? And that's unfortunate. Things like high cholesterol. Let's see what else. A lot of thyroid conditions.
Hypertension.
Hypertension. Oh, hypertension is a huge one, man. Like, having high blood pressure.
Sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea, absolutely, yeah. But like having high blood pressure is definitely, like for example, I have high blood pressure. I've run like 140 over 70, but I'm not hypertensive. It's just the way my body runs. Yeah. Now you can have low blood pressure than me and be hypertensive just because you're really unhealthy. So it's not about actually having a high number. It's just how your cardiovascular system functions. And that's when you can absolutely catch earlier, prevent, and control. Even if you have it now, you can absolutely control it and make your life better. And catching it early as children is very important too, because a lot of these kids who are, I guess if you want to say predisposed, but you're not, you're just a bitch. If you're predisposed to having these conditions, for the most part, you're going to go on life feeling sorry for yourself and taking these symptoms, and you're going to make them your identity. You're going to be, oh, I'm the guy with diabetes, or oh, I'm the guy with high blood pressure. Why? Because you never did anything about it, and now that's what identifies you. That's who you are because you chose to be that. So don't raise a pussy. Don't be a bitch. Get out there, make a difference for yourself. Don't let anybody, especially medical doctors, don't let medical doctors tell you. Like, remember our last conversation about that cunt who told me about cholesterol? Yeah, don't let the doctors, limit you. You can make a difference. Just don't be a bitch. It's that simple. And
well said. Well said.
And I'm gonna say this as the heaviest guy in this group, there is a reason why I'm this heavy, and it's not my genetics. It is literally that I have, for many reasons, not been taking care of myself the way I should. And actually, that's something that I wanted to. I think that when I saw what you guys were talking about today, I actually want to say, like, I know that I said last year that I was going to try to lose some weight, but then things happened and whatever. But I'm literally gonna. I have a goal for my wedding day, and I'm gonna hit it.
That's good, man. That's
Absolutely.
good to hear.
Congratulations.
That's good.
You should do it.
Having a motivator, especially the deadline, is always a good thing to have because it pushes you, especially having a significant other to push you, because you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for someone else, whether that be your woman or your mother or your father or your siblings,
And not just that, though. Actually, Pink Jess actually wants to join me, so that's an extra motivation for us both to kind of help each other out. So
that's good. Fun. So you both can come bring your happy asses out there and come do these 10 sprints with me. They're ridiculous. Jesus. And I'd like to say right now that I've officially made it to doing 10 sprints every time that I do this crap. It took me a freaking weeks. Weeks. Man, when I finally did it, don't get me wrong. Every time I finish, I sit down for a hot minute after the 10th one because I'm screaming, body's screaming. But I finally
treadmill or outside. On a treadmill or outside?
No. Flex said preferably outside. So
Yeah.
in my evening walks around my complex, which is about a 2-mile walk. The last half a mile is when I push it, do the 10 sprints, and then I basically crash after the 10th one. So yeah. So definitely you guys should join me in the painful 10 sprints. It's crazy. Jotaro, before we wrap up, you had a question?
Yeah, real quick, Flex, what's a good carb meal or type of food to have after like a good intense 30 to 1 hour hit workout?
Okay, so what you're going to be looking for is simple carbohydrates, something that's fast absorbed. So you're not going to look for the complex or what people say the good carbs. You're going to look for the bad carbs. Don't pick candy, obviously, but fast carbohydrates like fructose would be pretty good. So fruits, or believe it or not, dextrose, just sugar powder, is a very good substance. The reason why is because during that workout, you're going to lose quite a bit of glycogen that you store in your muscle. Again, you store 70% of your muscle, 20% of your liver, and the rest in the brain, and so on. But in order to properly recover and not feel like crap the next day and just feel somewhat good and properly recover your energy, you're going to have to put some sugar into your body so it goes back into your muscles. And the best way to do it, in my opinion, is either a carbohydrate drink, which you can buy it, or you can mix. I actually have a recipe. I can send it to you. It's based on your body weight. It's dextrose, potassium, and sodium with water, and BCAAs.
Yeah.
Or you can just buy a carb drink. Or I would say maybe if you don't have the time or you don't want to, have like 2 sugary fruits. Like for example, watermelon is a great one. It's delicious. It's full of water to hydrate you, and it's quite sugary as far as sugar goes in fruits.
Right.
Bananas is another good one, but it might not be as refreshing because it's kind of like, I guess, chalky.
Pasty.
Chalky, yeah.
Yeah.
Kiwis, oranges, berries. Berries are great too. The berries are outstanding for that. They're pretty high in
I
sugar
love
and
blueberries.
antioxidants.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
That's it for Deviator Fitness. If you want more fitness and nutrition tips, or you're just a big fan of UFC, then follow this man on Instagram. That's Darth_Flex. That's DARTH_FLEXX for more fantastic goodness. And with that being said, we're going to move on to the anime/animation invasion. This is going to be our 13-part, I think it's 13 episodes, right? Part review. Each episode of Love, Death, and Robots. This is a Netflix original that was pretty much put on to us by Darflex.
Crazy.
And it's
Love
fantastic. Today, I call it episode 1 question mark because apparently it Netflix shuffled it around for everybody, and I was reminded on Twitter, because believe it or not, we actually have interactions on Twitter now. It's fantastic. I was reminded on Twitter that everybody got it differently. So we're going to do episode 1 question mark Sonnie's Edge review. Now, Sonnie's Edge, in the underground world of Beastie's fights, Sonnie is unbeatable as long as she keeps her edge. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to run through it real quick. So the good, Darflex.
The visuals. Oh my god. This show for such a short show, I mean, wow. It looks great. Like for this episode specifically, the way the monsters look is just amazing, man. Like they almost don't look fake. Like it doesn't look like the humans. You can tell CGI, but the monster, you're like, oh man, this could be real. It's just the way the light hit them and everything.
It's a kaiju.
Yeah, pretty much. It was amazing. I loved the battles. I loved the way it looked, and I think it was beautifully designed, and it was very tasteful on its deliverance of the message and the actual death and the love. Oh, the love, the love.
Garbanzo.
I'm gonna have to piggyback on that one, man. The visuals, it was just stunning. It ended up being the second episode that I saw, and I'll be honest, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. The fight scene, I could watch it over and over again.
Jotaro the Stallion.
I actually really enjoyed it. I was kind of skeptical about it because I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know it was like this series is like a Black Mirror type.
Exactly, it's an anthology series.
I did not know at all, so I went into it not knowing anything, and I watched it today, and I
oh, you heard that? That's a good mic.
So no, I actually have to piggyback these guys. The visuals are great. The gore is pretty damn amazing. I actually loved the gore, which I'm a pretty big fan of in like anime visuals. I think like if you have a good gory anime, to me it fits well in my mind. But yeah, it was really good. I'm actually really aiming to finish the entire series probably this week or tomorrow.
Well,
So I
you
definitely.
should.
Yeah.
Just, like I said, just rewatch one each week. But I concur with the gentleman, especially Darflex. It was amazing. Basically, what I can say is that if you enjoyed the Animatrix, in any way, shape, or form, you'll actually enjoy Love, Death, Robots in general. And for Sunny's Edge, if you like that, what was it the first one? Was the Flight of the Osiris? That kind of animation, that kind of CGI, then yeah, you're gonna like this episode. The bad Flex.
I honestly cannot tell you that I saw anything bad. I mean, I guess if I had to absolutely pick a bad, it would have to be not seeing Sonnie nude.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I'd say because I can't really think of anything about it. If I had to pick one, it's just not seeing two chicks nude instead of one.
I can agree with that actually.
I think for me, honestly, the bad for me, there wasn't more. I want more.
But I think that's the beauty of this show. It's like it absolutely makes you want more, and that's success right there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's the thing. Is like for me, I just all I wanted to do was like hit next, and then watch what happens, and then just there. I wanted more growth. I mean, for them to be able to combine so much character growth and explanation in such a short period of time and do it well, where you actually understood and was able to follow.
Are we in the back?
So,
I'm sorry, carry on.
Sorry, but this is how good. This is how much.
Yeah.
I'm saying, by the bad, I wanted
you.
more. I just wanted more.
You wanted more. It's Jotaro the Stallion.
Actually, I agree with Garbanzo. I just don't like the fact that it was 17. What was it? 17 minutes. 17, 18 minutes.
I think it was 14 minutes.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I think it fits well with like the episode, and I guess the how they go ahead and play it with again with the Black Mirror type style. But I do want to know what happens next with Sonnie. I want to know what happens with I don't want to spoil it. I guess with the pet that she has. Spoiler alert, whatever. But I don't. I just wish it was a little bit longer. Yeah, that's my only. Other than that, I have no problems with it. I just think it was a little bit longer.
Right. Well, you guys know me. I come from a filmmaking, background. I'm an aspiring, writer director. So for me, the bad would be the beginning part, which is what I call the exposition dump. It was just all so in your face. Like they laid out her entire backstory in a matter of minutes, and it didn't feel organic. It felt like, okay, well, we want you to care about this character, so we're gonna explain to you everything we need to explain to you, and let's get to the fighting. So that kind of I sat there watching it like, what is Flex making me watch? I was doing this for the time being, as I was saying, oh, she's strong because of this, and she doesn't fight because of this, and she got and the scars are because of this. Literally, it's a whole exposition dump in the first few minutes, and if you don't get past that, you're not going to enjoy the rest of the series, or you're not going to enjoy the rest of the episode, because you're just like, okay. There had to be a more organic way to sprinkle that in throughout the episode, even if it was commentary while her beast was fighting the other beast. But the fact that they wanted you to care about her character and feel her so much that they had to drop first 2-3 minutes explaining who she is, why she is, how she is. Okay, now let's go on, and that kind of bothered me. So instead of you're dropping into like the middle of a story. It's like you're jumping into the middle of a story, but they got to give you a recap of what you've missed, so you can actually appreciate this particular story. That's all that I had that was the bad for me. The ugly, Darflex.
The ugly.
Now, mind you, gentlemen, we are doing the good, the bad, the ugly, but you're not required to dig deep to find something. If there is no ugly, there's no bad, there's no good. You can literally just say that, because I know you guys are struggling sometimes.
Well, for
no,
this,
because there really isn't any of that negative.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying don't feel obligated to fill in something for these spots. It's just that is how we break it down.
Well, for the ugly, I'm gonna use it as a positive. I like how ugly that episode is in the sense of the setting, the main character. I mean, nothing really attractive about her, but it was like the right kind of ugly. You know how like Benicio del Toro is pretty ugly, but he's like handsome ugly. That's how I'm.
Yeah. I get that.
Like,
I kind of understand that.
Yeah. So it's
Joaquin
like
Phoenix. Yeah.
It's like, man, like
Joaquin
Joaquin Phoenix. Absolutely, dude. I just
Jesus Christ. Oh.
I was
He's oh sorry, just this way. In case you're watching, Joaquin, I think you're amazing. That's as far. Sorry, and my condolences for River. Okay, continue.
okay. So I liked the ugly in the sense I like how the show took the ugly and made it something that you want to watch.
Okay. All right. Garbanzo.
That's the best way I can describe ugly is the way that Flex mentioned it. So, but besides that, there's nothing else I could add to it.
Jotaro the Stallion.
I'm gonna go back to what Flex said in the beginning. He made a comment about how Sonnie was not nude, and
So that's your ugly, okay?
and that's basically my ugly.
See, I get to dovetail off that because ugly for me is during that very sensual scene between Sonnie and her I guess the female handler. That was getting hot and heavy. That was sexy as shit. And then they completely abruptly, they give you a little twist, but it stopped. And I'm ashamed to say I was really into that. I was really into that.
I'm sure you
too.
I was beginning to sweat a little bit. I was doing my collar like this. So when the twist came, I wasn't like, oh snap. I was more like, God damn it, why? I thought it was gonna go further. So that was
rewind 1 second. We get to talk.
All right, so that's what it is. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's our quick review of Love, Death, Robots, episode 1 ? Sonnie's Edge. Come back every week as we're going to break down every single episode, the good, the bad, the ugly, until we're done. Then we're gonna move on to something else. I forgot what we do after this. There was something we're gonna do after this. I don't know. Put it in there.
Like a TV show.
Yeah.
Is it One Punch 2 coming out?
Oh,
it is coming out.
So we're gonna move on to Gadgets R Us. Verizon adds free caller filter feature in a bid to fight robocalls. Now, this article comes from Yahoo.com, and it's Verizon's free answer to robocall plague has arrived. After promising it would roll a feature earlier this week, the company fulfilled that pledge with Call Filter, a free version of what previously was $3 a month per line. With the free version, which shares the same name as the paid version, iOS and Android users will simply need to download the proper app from the App Store or Google Play to set it up. Now, I only bring this up because recently, I don't know if it was we could do an update. Whenever an unrecognizable phone call comes in, it actually says, and I'll even read it now. It's from AT&T. Spam. AT&T now flags these calls. It doesn't block them, but it flags them. It'll say AT&T alert, telemarketer. AT&T alert, spam. AT&T alert, fraud risk. AT&T alert, spam risk. Like, I get these now, and that's what comes up. And I actually like that feature. Any of you guys are getting that auto feature that warns you about?
T-Mobile has scam likely. I keep getting scam likelies on T-Mobile.
Yeah, like on the caller ID will say that.
And I'm hurt because at least they check up on me more than my own mother does. I mean, come on.
No, it's true. It's true.
I'm joking.
You're a good guy. You're a good guy, Joe. I mean, you're a terrible son, but you're a really good guy. So, any of you else getting like mind you, my thing isn't an app. It's a caller ID.
See,
now.
Like, it actually comes up and says scam lightly.
Yeah, we can't see that. But thanks anyway, though.
Yeah, no, better.
Here it is. Yes.
No, because you have the blurred background on, bro.
Yeah, you do. So it blurs out all the product placement. Like right now, if you guys are watching, Darflex is literally shadowed in darkness.
Well, that's because I put the light like here.
No, I understand, but it's literally pitch black behind him. Well, at one point, now he mixed it. Now you can see.
Just.
So it was actually quite. I see now there is back in pure darkness. That's kind of cool. But yeah, that's pretty much, I just wanted to bring that up because, these are all these new, because you guys already know that I went batshit crazy when my phone went to 5G randomly. So when these things pop up, I have to ask if anybody else is having it, or am I just, getting singled out by the man? All right, we're going to move on to Open Mic. X-Men Collector has spent more than $150,000 on memorabilia, and his peeps thinks he is crazy. This article comes from yahoo.com/lifestyle. When Eric Jawosika, was 19, he made a discovery that would change his life. X-Men Comics. It was his former Sunday school teacher, then the owner of a local comic family podcast. The owner of a local comic shop in
Evil.
Lincoln, and who first introduced him. So he's like, "Hey, you might be interested in X-Men," and that was about it. And he went off from there.
Becoming my van. Here's some X-Men.
So today, 30 years into his obsession, he has 9,500 comics, 500 statues, and 850 action figures in his collection.
That's actually pretty epic.
Which he spent well over $225,000. He says his favorite character is Wolverine, whose isn't. And he's nuts. So what I ask is, I bring this topic.
He's not my favorite X-Men.
Who's your favorite X-Men? Cyclops?
Gambit.
Oh, Cyclops is mine. So I'm going to ask you, gentlemen, have you ever or would you ever indulge in such an obsession or such a passion, such a hobby?
Okay.
If I had the money, yes.
Well, okay. What would you be spending your $250,000 on if you had the money?
Probably three things: Star Wars,
yes,
WarCraft, and anything Middle Earth.
Yes, good answers.
So if I were to add up how much money I've spent on comics and collectibles in the last, say, 30 years, I'd be close. Maybe not about half of where he's at right now.
Really? Where is it? Where is all of it?
A lot of it's at my mom's house, actually. I have about 7,500 comics total.
Wow.
I have almost a full run of the Green Lantern series.
Ooh, I mean, yeah.
Don't start. I love GL. The only he was a first Republican superhero.
And GL
anyway, so
Green Lantern.
But now my recent obsession with Pops, with Pink
Pops.
Jess. That's
Pops.
My Pops collection before I started me and Pink Jess started seeing each other was I had like 15, and we're close to, between the two of us now, about almost 180.
Jesus. Wow. I mean, I think I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3, and actually, I have to admit, pretty much 90% of my geek paraphernalia has probably came from the artist formerly known as Juancho. Now that I think about it, but yeah, I only have 3. Yeah, about 3 of them.
But yeah, so I mean, I understand the collecting bug. I mean, I love my comics. I've read every single comic I have ever owned. The reason why I have so many is I have a lot of doubles.
So what you're saying is that you're going to be giving those away to our listeners in future Geek Bros episodes, right?
Maybe depending on the comics. Yes. There's a few things that I wouldn't give away, like original sealed of Death of Superman, or the whole Reign of Superman series. I actually have the whole thing.
Entire collection of GL. Gotcha. We got you.
But I'll share. Share.
Garbanzo likes it to glow green. So.
I have a Deadpool #1 that I never opened.
I think the only comics I ever owned was the free ones that I got at Star Wars Celebration from my family. Those are the only comics I ever owned.
You think you got one that was signed too?
I don't know.
It was signed. The Chewbacca one was signed.
Oh yeah, that's those are the only comic books that I ever owned. Jotaro the Stallion, Mr. Super Saiyan himself.
Wait, I want you to see if you can edit that whole that Super Saiyan aura.
Oh, I definitely can. Will I do it? No, because I don't have time for that.
All right, well,
time for that.
Well, screw you. But anyway, if I had that, I mean, if I had that, like what 250K we just said that I had, I mean, I would go. I mean, if I spent everything I needed to spend on the things that I needed to get. Let's just say outside of the comic book world and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I would actually, and then focus on strictly comic book or anime, whatever. I would probably stick with like anime stuff.
Okay.
I would strictly stick with anime. Hentai.
Like hentai pillows.
Oh man, look.
Actually, I have a friend.
Man, I need a waifu. Yeah.
I have a friend who actually has that.
Oh yeah. Is it who I think it is?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Oh, poor guy.
So
poor guy.
If
you tell him I said womp womp.
Yeah, well, no, trust me. With that thing he has, it'll be more like
No. He went to the health department. He cleared that up.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
Look at him. Oh God!
Speaking of that, we need to invite him on because he's got a little Zumba geek in him. So we gotta get him in there. That's what she
Yeah,
said.
Flex, you would love this dude, man. He's a Zumba instructor. He's been a Zumba instructor, I think, for 5 years already. So I think he's hit the level of mastery in
Yeah?
Zumba. Yeah.
That's
The
great.
hottest thing I've ever heard.
Zumba's great, man.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is? Holy crap!
great.
Really?
If you're
Yeah, well, I mean, like, for what it's for, you're just dancing and moving. You're burning calories. Why not? It's better than
No.
sitting at home, you know.
That is absolutely.
And the chances of you getting hurt are pretty minimal, and you're having a good time.
pretty low, yes.
Yeah.
Pretty low.
So sweating to the oldies.
That's what I'm talking about. Yep.
I do have one question because as soon as you told me about this guy, like the comic book dude, all right, I had two questions immediately came up to my head. One, do you think he's ever touched a woman? Two, if he has, with the money he has, do you think he hires professionals?
Well, it says here when I met my wife at the time. So
I mean, I can say I have a wife too, bro.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh. So okay.
That's
Well,
a different
Ricky
kind
Martin
of
had a
beard.
wife.
Oh, look, listen. He's got pictures of him and Stan Lee together. Okay, so he's got
Oh,
pictures.
wow.
He's got pictures of him and Mark Silvestri as well. So this guy, he's in there. He's in there. But yeah, I agree. For me personally, I think it'd probably be $250,000 on pops because I'm obsessed with those things. I just don't buy them. And whatever these things are, whatever these are.
They're the 8-bit ones. The 8-bit.
I would buy every single one of these. Of course, I have 4 of them, all brought to me by the artist formerly known as Juancho. Pretty much that. I'd buy pops. I'd buy those 8-bit thingies because they light up. Did I put? No, I didn't. Hold on. Nope, I didn't put this one either. These two. Damn it, they're all dead. They're all dead. Well, moving on with my life. But yeah, they light up, and I kind of like them, and they're all over my studio. My studio used to be very professional, and it's funny. It's so bad now that whenever I invite clients over, I have to clear all the geek stuff away, so it looks more professional, especially when I have other clients for other productions.
But the geek stuff is professional. It's professional geek stuff.
It's true, but I don't think it's a lot, but it can be overwhelming. Like there's all this stuff here. I mean, it's a nice setup, but so I keep my my Ewok and my baby Groot, which the head's kind of messed up.
I like that actually. I like that.
Never, yeah, that head. I don't move these next to my nameplate.
I wonder if there's one for the car.
What? Maybe. There is.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. You just go on. Yeah, the dancing will just dance.
Yeah, there's one that moves.
So we're gonna move on now to the Umbrella Academy review. Something I've been dying to talk about. We're gonna have to talk briefly about it because we're almost about to hit our 1 hour and a half limit. But Umbrella Academy, I loved it. Like I said via on Twitter as well, that if anything, that is how you do a Dark Phoenix saga. It's funny though because I accidentally spoiled it for myself a while back. I watched some kind of review on it on YouTube, and because I thought usually I do that when I don't intend to ever watch anything, but for whatever reason I decided to watch it and I could not stop watching it. It's got like a series of unfortunate events meets X-Men meets what other thing? What other it's just a kiss of Watchmen in there for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. It was the right amount of campiness and the right amount of grit. And
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but it's actually real quick. Joe, there's actually a USB car charger baby Groot that dances when you charge your stuff on it.
Oh, really?
Yes, just a heads up.
You interrupted
okay.
my Umbrella Academy review.
I had to.
You could have gotten this. You could have told him this off air. So you had to interrupt my review to tell him about a dancing USB.
That's very important. That's very important that he told me because I've really been wanting to have a baby Groot like plant dancing in the car, man. I mean,
God damn it.
Flex, who else watched Umbrella Academy? Flex, did you watch Umbrella Academy?
I did, man. I hope later on we can revisit this and get into more detail. But I'll tell you right now, I loved it. I also love the creator Gerard Way, lead singer of My Chemical Romance, and what he's done with comics. I don't know if you read his Killjoy series, but those are actually pretty good too.
Killjoy, you mean the sci-fi show? Killjoy, Sci-Fi has a show called Killjoys.
I'm not sure if it's the same one, but he had a comic.
What is it about? What is it about, real quick? You know what it's about, real quick?
It's like, I guess it's kind of goth. It's just like a little goth family does gangster stuff. But I mean, it's
in space.
No.
Okay, that's not okay. Not the same.
I think it's space automatically.
But it is pretty good. I do like what they did with it. I mean, I enjoyed it. My girlfriend, I can't say she enjoyed it too much, but I definitely did. Just because I think what made it great for me was my connection with Gerard Way.
Not even the not so subtle romance, weird romance between step siblings, like that didn't grab her either.
I saw you put that on Instagram.
I don't think so, because I think she's had enough of that from Game of Thrones. So.
Oh, okay.
And they're not step siblings. They're full on incest. You know?
No, they're not. They're not. No blood there.
They're not. Yeah, no biologically involved.
So they're step or.
No. I'm talking about Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Okay.
Yeah. Well, everyone in there seems like they're.
Garbanzo. Did you watch Umbrella Academy?
Yes, I did. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Are you lower? Is it just me?
Yeah, he is lower.
I am. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now?
No.
This is better.
No.
Hello.
Well,
I'm speaking normally.
Interesting. All right,
try shaving your beard.
Try shaving your beard.
Never. That's where I get my power.
Oh, there you go. I think that sounds better.
Okay. I had to move it out of the beard. Sorry. So actually, I immensely enjoyed the series. It was fantastic. I can't wait for season 2.
Oh my god.
Five is still my favorite character, hands down. Like between him, honestly, actually, no. More I think about it, between him and I think it's 6, the one that died.
Right.
That
you mean
that
you like? I mean, he's kind of mute most of the series.
But when he's in it, it's just like the first time you see him, you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
and then it's just a cool little add-on.
Wait, was number 6 dead?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Introduce me. Vibe. Go ahead.
Super Saiyan Joe.
Thank you. So
Immortan Joe.
So I definitely
don't
enjoyed
do
it.
that again.
Well, you have to put the stuff around me.
If I put it, I'll probably just like literally Photoshop the cartoon and just throw it on you and make a really poor sounding.
Because you're a cheap bastard, so it's okay.
Well, whenever it comes to your image, yes, I will not do anything to.
I liked the Umbrella Academy. My favorite character, ironically enough, was Ben. I did not like the what's his name, the leader, the big.
Well, he was a dead stick, but I mean,
I wasn't a fan of his character. I'm sorry, I just wasn't.
He screamed like he reminded me. He reminded me of a very buff, a significantly more naive version of Captain America. He was that all-American, I want to do right, I'm the leader kind of thing.
He just has the powers of a gorilla.
Right, exactly. Much. So
well, now he does.
Well, yeah, that wasn't originally part of his dare I say mutation. Oops.
So wait, when he was a kid and they had that flashback scene when they were saving the bank, was he already had powers already?
No.
Yeah.
No, he had the super strength, but that's it.
Super strength. Yeah, super strength. He had some agility thing. He had it. He just didn't have the bulk of the whatever. But I mean, this series was amazing. It came so much music. I never used Shazam so much in a series before. Okay, Dancing in the Moonlight, Run Boy Run. I mean, these songs, I'm still listening to them over and on a loop because they got me so well. The music was fantastic. They even busted out into a few dance scenes randomly, and weirdly enough, it didn't take me out of the show, especially the one between the two characters with their budding romance. That was, and I say it again, the sweetest scene I've seen between two characters in a long time.
Since the tower's the tower scene in Game of Thrones, right?
Oh,
Last season.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Never seen that though. But it was fantastic, and I have a sweet spot for time travel stories. I love that kind of crap, and time travel mysteries, and it was right up my alley. The entire thing was right up my alley. It was fantastic. That was a fantastic translation, and thank you so much Netflix for that. It was great. So we were all, I guess this Geek Bros approved, unanimously.
Absolutely.
I like it. We're gonna talk just briefly, just a tip. The Joker trailer. We've all seen it. I want one sentence reaction when you saw it, and then we're gonna move on. Darflex.
Very dark, very creepy. It's gonna be interesting. It's kind of one of those like psychotic. Like this really brings out the psychotic Joker.
Psychotic Joker.
That's it. Yeah, that's all.
Garbanzo.
I'm interested, intrigued, and curious. But besides that, I think we found the new scariest clown in the movies.
I didn't think that.
I have a feeling it's gonna get there.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Super Saiyan -2 Jotaro.
He actually owes power levels.
Exactly.
Damn,
He's
man,
-9,000.
never again with this fucking hair. I mean, excuse me, never again with this hair.
Podcast.
Yeah, family podcast. So I actually like Joaquin. Is his name first name?
Joaquin.
I keep saying Joaquin. Joaquin Phoenix. I always liked him as an actor.
The Irish accent.
That is, yeah, pretty much Brooklyn Irish accent. I've always liked him since Gladiator, and he was amazing over there in that movie. He was amazing in that movie. But I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything about his role with Joker yet, because the best Joker I've seen so far is a tie.
Right.
Jack Nicholson, and a tie-in with Heath Ledger. So those are the only two that I feel like are the best, and they're kind of tied together. But let's just see. I mean, he's already better than Jared Leto off the bat.
Okay, good point. If I had to say that my reaction to that trailer is the exact opposite of Garbanzo, I'm not intrigued. I'm not interested. Basically, I remember watching it today, and I just said, "What did I just watch?" That's basically how I feel about this trailer. What did I just watch? There's nothing about it that intrigues me whatsoever. That it doesn't look like this could have been any psycho thriller. You know what I'm saying? Like, it did not scream DC. It didn't scream the Joker. All it screamed was, "You're a nut job." It's a psycho thriller, and you just happen to take on a clown face, pretty much. So for all I know, it's the origin of it. So you know what I'm trying to say?
Okay. Yeah, honestly, I agree with that, because if they didn't use the word Gotham in it, I would have said, "Oh, this is not DC."
You would have no idea, right?
Now, here's where I'm intrigued and I'm curious. I said, I mean, I can't really say I'm too excited either way, but I want to see what they do with it, because I know the actual classic birth, basically the origin story of the Joker. That he was a comedian, who was a failure. Knew some roughneck guys, and that asked him to wear this red hood, and
right.
And then that's when everything kind of went to chaos. And that's what drove him over the edge. But he's originally supposed to be a comedian, not a legit clown. So I want to see how they kind of twisted, how they changed it around, because DC's been doing that a lot lately. Not always for the best, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, so don't forget to check out our full review of the trailer. It will be dropping this week. Once I get Garbanzo's and Jotaro's review, I'll be able to edit that and bring that out for you guys. I'm aiming for Friday. So, gentlemen, if you can give me your full review, it doesn't have to be very long. And I'm looking at you, Jotaro. I don't need no 6-minute rambling. I just need
how many minutes?
1 to 2 minutes is just fine. That's all I ask you for.
Like your sex life?
Oh.
Hey, if you're doing it right, it's all you need.
Well, can I say something? Apparently, women don't like. From what I've heard, women don't like it that longer than 10, 15 minutes, or even that long. So it's like, and it's kind of like, are you serious? from what I heard, oh, they want it all night long. When I've said it, I think I said it recently, and they're like, "What are you talking about? You give me a good 10 minutes, and I'm good." He said, "I can't stand a guy going longer and forever and forever." So look, okay, and maybe 1-2 minutes, Joe Taro the Stallion, you negative Super Saiyan, you. But it's the best 2 minutes, okay, of their life.
I'm sure
Okay?
it is. I'm sure it
Okay.
is.
I mean,
They're seeing
seriously,
stars.
would you prefer like a 10-minute storm or 2-minute hurricane?
Oh, I
Just
like
saying.
that. There you go.
I
There
wouldn't
you go.
prefer any of those because I don't want to die.
There you go. So, did I ever mention how special and how rewarding and how I'm trying to look for the term lucky your fiance is? I mean, she really found a good guy in you. I just wanted to say that.
I know you mean that well, so I'm gonna
I,
leave it at that.
I do. I mean it. I mean it well.
You do.
Like it sounds like he's saying she found a good guy. It's not you, but it's somewhere inside of you.
What's the phrase? She needs to. we
God, that was so great.
transfer that to that phrase to Tara the Stallion from now on.
But you know what's hilarious about that? He's actually right.
We're gonna move on. Hercules rumored to play male lead in Marvel's The Eternals. Spoiler alert: he may be gay. This I believe Flex. Didn't you give me this one?
Yeah, I did.
Flex. Flex. The next
So
story
You and by the way, you beat me to this one.
yeah, an article on
what? From GeekTyrant.com.
Yeah, so an article on GeekTyrant.com says Hercules is rumored to be the male lead role in Marvel's The Eternals, and he's going to be gay. They haven't reported who's going to play him yet, which I am pretty curious who can be, who could play a really good masculine.
Kevin Sorbo.
Absolutely not.
He is the only Hercules for me.
Yeah,
Kevin
like if Hercules was a hipster and had 12-inch biceps, no, we need a real man. But like honestly, when I read this, I'm like, oh, this is awesome, because I don't think it's one of those push the agenda thing, right? Because like, okay, Hercules is Greek. Greeks are notoriously known for being homosexuals and doing it with little boys. Actually, there's a very popular joke that I kept hearing in Italy from all the local Italians is a Greek man and an Italian man were arguing. And the Greek man finishes the argument with, oh yeah, well, the Greeks invented sex. And the Italian says, well, good sir, you're right. But the Italians introduced it to women. So I think this is very appropriate because, I mean, that's what Christmas was, actually. Christmas is the pagan holiday by the Greeks where a bunch of rich, fat men would just have sex with young, handsome boys and drink and eat. That's what Christmas is, really. But I do appreciate that they are sticking to true Greek mythology, and that they're going to have I guess if you want to take it for that, they're going to have a gay male role in a MCU movie. I think it's great just for the sake of me loving folklore. I mean, this is sweet. It's going to be good. And it seems that Angelina Jolie is going to play Cersei, so that's going to be pretty hot, too.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. I was going to bring that up as well, that whoever, or hopefully someone that can hold their chops against Angelina Jolie as a head female lead. But either way, I honestly, personally speaking, I was thinking I had my thought process was the same as Flex's. I mean, they're being technically like historically accurate in that time period. In old ancient Greece, there was no taboo against men having sex with men. It was nothing like, oh my God, they had. No, it's like, oh, that's normal. You had whoever you decided to have sex with. It didn't matter.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Yeah,
of course we don't know. Yeah,
allegedly.
Well, anyway, so that's but that's the way the history books say it. So, and the Holocaust was, yeah. Anyway, so it doesn't matter.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, you will also say that the Holocaust is also allegedly, but that's not true either. That should legitimately happen. Whatever, dude.
Oh my God.
Where the hell did that go?
the allegedly got me this time.
Oh,
Well,
snap.
this is the last you'll be hearing of the Geek Bros. It was nice,
It was
entertaining
great.
thoughts.
It was great.
Listen, man, it's not true because the other podcast that I co-host, Friends with Issues, we hit that and the vibe on that show, no relation to this vibe here, basically gave his opinion on that, and it was kind of super controversial. From what I heard, a few of our listeners when he went on his rant, not this vibe, that vibe, they actually had to turn off the episode right there and then. So, yeah, if you want to check that out, Friends with Issues.
I have a question. Would it be in poor taste to give you guys a Jewish joke, or is that bad?
I don't think none of us here are Jewish.
No, I know, but I'm sure, like, this, I don't know. People are too sensitive for a good old.
Sensitive. I think you should save it, and you should hop over with Halls and Vibe on that show.
All
that
right.
has no topic is too inappropriate over there.
That's true.
So,
Yeah, but anyways, but the whole thing is that like I was trying to mention is that there's written proof on it, reference, so on and so forth. So honestly, I just think that they're doing well with it, and I don't have an issue whatsoever with it. I'm actually I'm curious to see what they're gonna do with it.
I am indifferent. I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Literally don't care. I don't even know why that's the thing. So with that being, we're gonna move on to footage from Star Wars Episode 9 has been screened. This also comes from GeekTyrant.com. Dorflex.
All right, so this one, I mean, it's not super crazy. It's just a few scenes. Some of them are just visuals of ships and stuff, which really don't mean anything to me. There's a couple ones that I did think that maybe you could spend your time thinking about it. But there's a scene where Kylo Ren once again is looking at Darth Vader's helmet. Okay, what could that mean? What are you thinking?
It means he found it and said, "What happened? Where were you in the last movie?"
Oh yeah.
That's pretty much what it was. There you are. Oh, that's pretty much what it was.
Maybe it
Hi,
symbolizes
Grandpa.
the death of what's his name, Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
All right. But
Wow.
what really got me excited of one scene is where you see Lando Calrissian. I mean,
Landing in the movie?
absolutely, bro.
I don't
Billy
remember
D.
that.
Williams is in the movie.
I'm
And then
super
another
excited about it.
scene of Rey with Chewbacca's bowcaster. So I'm like, is
She
Chewie dead?
isn't that thing is like heavy as heck?
Yeah, but she's a Jedi, bro. Like,
Oh, that's true. She's using the Force. She can move rocks, so she can
Yeah.
pick up a bow cancer.
but somehow they
apologize.
can't,
I withdraw
they
my
can't pick
comment.
themselves up from getting thrown off a cliff. Which to me, it's crazy. Like, can't you just lift your shirt up with the Force and prevent yourself from falling off a cliff, or ultimately fly? But that's neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. No,
Ultimately fly.
allegedly.
Allegedly. There we go with that word.
They're not Super Saiyans like Joe.
Yeah, super allegedly. Right. So
Allegedly.
other than that, I always see a couple of shots of like settings, ships, a marketplace which Ray's trying to hustle some stuff, probably buy drugs, who knows. But honestly, the biggest thing that caught my eyes seeing Lando Calrissian once again, I'm very, very excited and looking forward to see Billy D. Williams after all these years reprise his role as the smooth Lando Calrissian.
Oh, fantastic. That is interesting. I mean, I didn't read the article, and honestly, I
There's
you
nothing
guys
to
already,
it.
you guys already know that Star Wars is pretty much dead for me. Besides, going to Celebration and listen to our live podcast. But
We're
no,
going to the celebration for a couple
no,
of days.
because after with Rebels killed me a little bit. Last Jedi, killed me a lot of bit. Rogue One slipped me a little bit. Solo slipped me a little bit. So when it comes to all of that,
You're just so bitter.
I'm not bitter. None of it resonated with me. After The Force Awakens, I got a good high from The Force Awakens, and I haven't gotten anything close to that since. So with that being said, I have zero. I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna review it. We're gonna do a countdown to Episode 9. It's gonna happen. But am I anticipating it? Do I even care it's coming out at the end of this year? No, not really. When the trailer drops, I'm gonna review because it's my job. I'm as part of this brand, we've got to do this, and I'll do it for the listeners. But I don't care. I'm not interested. And now you've got what I think probably the final nail in the coffin for me is Star Wars Resistance, and I'm just like, yep, I don't know what else to do with my life when it comes to Star Wars. It used to be my world, and now it's like one of the worst ex-girlfriends I've ever had now. So
Maybe
That's
the
not true.
Mandalorian will bring you back.
oh man, I hope so.
I have.
Yeah.
I don't. I think the Mandalorian. Besides that, but I mean, honestly, it's like if you look at the stuff for what it's supposed to be, the thing is, you can't compare. You can't compare. Like, you can't compare the prequels to the original trilogy. People do that, and then they end up hating the prequels. You can't compare the new trilogy we've been getting to the original or even the prequels. Why? Because they're just a completely different storytelling. If you try to compare them, then you're going to be disappointed and you're going to get upset.
Garbanzo, you have never heard me once come out of my mouth comparing the new trilogies and new
Oh,
movies
no,
to
no,
the
no,
old
no.
movies
I'm not talking
at
about
all.
just you in general. I'm just talking
I'm
about
literally right. I'm literally I'm my reviews on them are on their merits as movies as they are, and with no no comparison to the past. I review them, and my opinions are based upon what I've seen right now. And it's just it hurts. It hurts.
But for you, it's the story writing, not the filmography, right?
Oh my God, no! All the
Because
movies
the
are
visuals are just
all the movies. Listen,
okay.
I was
Yeah.
the first to say that The Last Jedi is the most gorgeous Star Wars movie and one of the most gorgeous movies I've ever seen. Period. It's
It
beautiful.
is.
It was amazing.
It
Okay,
looked
uh,
great.
fantastic. I thought Solo was a nice lighter version of the Star Wars universe. I liked that a lot. Rogue One, not so much. I mean, it is what
no
it
story.
was. The Force Awakens, I loved it as well. But The Last Jedi is still the prettiest movie, especially out of Star Wars ever.
Yes,
I love, I loved
they
it.
really did well with that.
I have rewatched The Last Jedi two times, once with my offspring, and then once again when it dropped on Netflix. And I only watched it because I wanted to watch it, to look at it, to see
Mm.
the visuals because visuals because I like, even if I don't like the movie, I like watching the movie because I want to say, how would I be able to recreate even a fraction of that scene? And I break it down in
Yeah.
my head how they did it and how I could make a not a better version, but a comparable or even with my own equipment. So that's why I would watch The Last Jedi again.
You know what? Honestly, I would love for us to all sit down one day, pop open a bottle of whiskey. Maybe we could do it at celebration, and then just sit down and discuss how each one of us would have written The Last Jedi.
So what? So how about this then? Can we then say that's our official topic for the panel? Our topic is going to be The Last Jedi. I was just going to re-review it again, but that's beautiful.
Let's
How
do
would
it.
you have written The Last Jedi? So, gentlemen, and you guys are now listening, courtesy of Darflex, he's given us our title. How the Geek Bros would have written Star Wars: The Last Jedi. That is the official title and topic for our Star Wars
Okay.
Celebration panel podcast. Which means, gentlemen, I need notes. We can't just do it off the cuff of our head. You've got a
course.
week. You got a week to rewatch the movie, have some notes, some bullets, so you have something to say, and then we'll go down through them, and I'll decide.
I'm down.
I'll figure out the plot structure. I don't know if I want to do like the plot and the characters and stuff like that, but I'll get to that with you guys in the week. But that is now officially our podcast panel. How the Geek Bros would have written Star Wars: The Last Jedi, live from Star Wars Celebration, April 12th, 1 p.m. Central. We're gonna move on quickly to the Stanley tribute. This is another Darflex original. I'm gonna skip Jordan Peele on why he's not likely to cast White Leaves, because basically what he said was he's seen a movie before and he wants
Yes.
to bring up the black people and stuff like that. So yay for him. Moving on. Stanley tribute, Darflex.
All right. So this came to me the other day. I mean, obviously, we're not oblivious to what happened to the great
Of
Stan
course.
Lee, but
Of course.
when we all sat down to watch Captain Marvel, man, that intro, it brought tears to my eyes. It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
In the theater that we were at, it had applause. There was applause
Yeah,
that
mine too.
came on.
Mine
So,
too.
It was beautiful. And then on top of that, you know how he always has little cameos in Captain Marvel. His cameo was her pulling down the newspaper, looking at him and giving him a smile, like a thank you for everything, Stanley. Oh man, to me that was as much as
I don't think it was a newspaper.
Actually, yeah,
it
he
wasn't.
was
No,
reading a
It was
script.
it was a
He was
script
reading a
to
script.
He was reading a script for Mallrats.
Mallrats, yes, because he had
Okay.
a cameo in Mallrats, yeah.
Yes. So like just looking at that and seeing her smile towards him and seeing his little old face, oh man, that was
His
beautiful too.
little old face.
No, but like to me, like that's what Stanley always was to me. As great as he was that one grandpa, that old grandpa with the sweater
Right.
who would come over and tell you these awesome stories, And dude, and then today I rewatched Into the Spider-Verse for the second time, and the scene where Stanley says, "You'll grow into it eventually," and he gives that smile once again. I'm like, "Oh, dude."
Yeah, that was.
It was
Oh,
great.
we got. Speaking of that, we've got to do a mini-sode on Into the Spider-Verse because when I watched it, nobody else watched it. We'll get into that.
I love it.
Let me do a round robin then. Favorite Stan Lee cameo scene in the movies off the top of your head, Darflex.
For me, now it's going to be only. It's not even a cameo, just the opening scroll to Captain Marvel.
Okay.
I mean, he had a bunch of others, but I have never felt as emotional with almost anything other than the Luke telling Leia no one's ever truly dead scene in The Last Jedi. To me, that's still my favorite.
Yeah, that's very powerful. Garbanzo.
You know why it is for me, though. It's not.
I know why it is for you. The same reason why you guys took Carrie Fisher's passing away so hard. I get it.
Yeah, she's still my princess. Anyways, my whole thing is I think most emotional. I have to go with the newest one with Captain Marvel. The most one I enjoyed was actually Fantastic Four, the Rise of the Silver Surfer, his cameo there.
Okay. Not so super Saiyan Jotaro. What's your favorite?
The most emotional one was Into the Spider-Verse.
Well,
I thought for some reason what he said.
But carry on.
No, I mean I actually have two. The
I understand.
Yeah, the emotional one was Into the Spider-Verse, and the actual favorite, I guess. I mean, it wasn't really that emotional. It was kind of like funny to me, but in a way, was you probably guys. I don't know. I think you guys won't agree with this. Was the Incredible Hulk when he was drinking the
and dropped it
juice because it had which is weird because isn't Bruce's blood gamma.
Yeah, but unfortunately, from what I understand, they actually explained that away that the guy survived and nothing happened to him. That's what I remember. In
the next movie, they actually mentioned it.
Yeah, they explained it away. But my favorite one was Deadpool. It was him DJing at a strip club. That was the funniest thing I ever saw. That thing had me laughing. Next to the stage is Candy or something like that. What it was. And that was fantastic. That's my favorite cameo that he's ever done ever.
He was Hugh Hefner as well too, huh?
Yeah, he was Hugh Hefner. They called him Larry King. They called him. There was another scene. Which scene was it? It was The Amazing Spider-Man. Was it 1 or 2? Whichever one where he was a librarian and crap was going on behind him and he was listening to music. Yeah, the first that was cool too. But for me, Deadpool 1 hands down. All right, so before we wrap up, we're gonna do our shameless social media promotion. We'll start with Dart Flex.
Well, you can find me on my training page at Instagram at DarthFlex. That's Darth_FLEXX. You can find me on Twitter as DFP, as in Darth Flex Performance. And if you like woodworking, you can find me on Instagram as The Inebriated Craftsman. It's pretty simple. I'm the only one with that name on there.
Garbanzo.
All right. Actually, my stuff is pretty simple. Twitter and also on if you Gmail as well for Bean BEANTKE 278 and it's Darth Bean 278 on the gram and same thing with Bean.
Nobody calls it the gram. Nobody calls it the gram.
Yeah, I just did.
Oh. Family podcast.
And basically, yeah, and I'll be actually soon we'll be starting a little side page that's gonna be helping promote the Geek Bros called Garbanzo's Corner. So once that gets up and running, I'll let you guys know.
Nobody puts Garbanzo in the corner. Joe Taro the Stallion.
You can find this Super Saiyan on Instagram.
Yeah.
Actually, the last time we did
DBZ Jotaro _ not so super.
It's it's actually DBZ Jotaro Trunks _
Are you serious?
No, I'm joking. It's not.
Oh.
No, I you can find me on Instagram at Jotaro Joetarro. It's actually 3 R's. Last time I gave you 2.
It's 3 R's.
Yes, just don't ask. All right.
Taro.
Jotaro.
Because the 2 R's was
Taro.
I couldn't help it.
2 R's silent.
I think it's cool. The 2 R's are silent.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that all you got, Jotaro? The stallion?
Yeah, just Instagram and a Facebook, which is my government name. But we can.
Okay. Yeah. Nobody wants to see that.
Exactly.
So, and myself, if you want to see the behind the scenes goodness or all the other Vibe Studio stuff, you can check me out on the gram. That's Vibrev Studios, VIBEREVSTUDIOS.
That's gonna be a thing.
That's the same for right. That's the same for my Twitter and for my Snapchat. You see a lot of behind the scenes things. You see a little of the daddy side of me, the sophisticated side. All things Vibe Studios, and of course, the studio website vibrevstudios.com, VIBEREVSTUDIOS, for all the Geek Bros and everything else that Vibe Studios produces, which is far beyond. We're a one-stop shop, and I'm exhausted. So that's it for Keeping Up the Geek Bros podcast.
And before we go, I'd like to end with one thing. Something that Stan Lee said that I like to tell people when they tell me that I'm lucky for whatever it is I'm doing, which isn't much. But people say I'm lucky. It's a quote by Stan Lee. Luck's a revolving door. You just need to know when it's your time to walk through.
Oh, perfect.
Oh. Now that's it for Keeping Up the Geek Bros podcast, episode 60. You can find us on Instagram. That's Geek Bros with 0 GEKB or 0S. At Twitter, at us, because we actually use it now. We're actually getting, I mean, you guys, not getting the notifications, but it's fantastic. People are talking to us. They're retweeting us. I had no idea how easy it is to use the Twitter because I don't really use it. And you basically just put whatever you want out there. So tweet us at our twat. It's at Geek Bros, GEKB or 0S. Then our Facebook is facebook.com/geekbros with a 0. All the same thing, brand recognition. Email us. We will respond and we will get back to you. We want to hear from you.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's geekbros with a 0 at yahoo.com, GEKB or 0S at yahoo.com. Of course, you can listen to our smooth, buttery faces the first place at WoodieGeeksPC.com, or you can watch these handsome, rugged faces, or Super Saiyan Joe at youtube.com/Vibrev Studios, VIBREVSTUDIOS. And lastly, before we wrap up, I cannot stress that we're going to have a live panel discussion officially how the Geek Bros would write Star Wars The Last Jedi live from the podcast stage.
Live.
Friday, April 12th, 1 p.m. Central Time. That is 2 p.m. East for you guys. And then, if you're in the Chicago area, please, by all means, come meet us, share a drink with us at the Arc Bar. That's the meetup, Saturday, April 13th, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. If you want more information about that, you go to www.coffeewithkenobi.com/star-podcast-meetup-at-celebration-Chicago. And stay tuned to the very end of this episode. All the panels of Star Wars Celebration, all the podcasts have all combined all of our promos to one gigantic promo to introduce everybody's live panel. So listen, it's not just us that are going to be there, but more than others. So stay tuned to the end to listen to all the promos. Except
there's some amazing podcasts out there as well.
There's some amazing podcasts out there, and we are here to support each other. So with that being said, geeking out still sounds this good.
Keeping up with the Geek Bros.